And that would allow us to protect our whatever we want to in Dallas, or regulate whatever we want to in Dallas the way we see fit, but use
In the hue and cry of La Raza Unida and Brown Power movements, Pedro Aguirre is a Mexican-American who has made it from the depths of the Dallas barrio to the inner sanctums of officialdom and the establishment. Today, a successful architect and father of 3 children, the 39-year-old Aguirre sits on the Dallas City Council. He has left the barrio for a beautiful home in plush far north Dallas and the amenities of country club life.
We lived in the barrio for 2 reasons. One were economic reasons. That's all my parents could afford. And at the time I was growing up, that's primarily the only place that Mexican Americans lived was in the barrio. I had the same tough times that most everybody else in the barrio. I'm one of 9 children, and it wasn't easy. My father was in the construction business all his life, so I was brought up around the construction business. Every Saturday, for instance, I'd go help him. At the time, he was a roofer, and then he left roofing and went into painting and did subcontract work. And so I don't know when it really started, but all I can remember was being on top of a slate roof in the summer. And I don't know whether you've ever had that experience, but that's got to be the hottest place on earth when the slate radiates all the heat from the sun. And I can recall the architect would come by and inspect the job, and I guess that had to be the beginning. I wanted that guy's job because he never got up on the roof with us, and he was always in a white shirt and a tie and concerned about where the shade was so he could tell us what we were doing wrong, you know. In other words, we want to be able to come in the front door and see the president of the bank. That and the kiosks, the drive-in windows and all that. Okay. And this right here, remember, we need to allow for a service sink there. I think that we as Mexican Americans, when we reach a certain stage of development in our own personal lives, react the same way as anybody else. So the fact that I am, I guess, middle class, and that I am a practicing professional would normally give me the same outlook that my white counterpart would have. Of course, I'm sensitive because of the fact that I am Mexican American. I'm sensitive to the problems of the Mexican American, but I also happen to be a practicing architect and a businessman with the same responsibilities that any other businessman would have. And so I would represent the type of person that relates to the things that I do and the way I live and the accomplishments that I've enjoyed. We're dealing with a very vital issue here for the inner city, and this is what we're all concerned about. It will take whatever time it takes. It's immaterial what the issue is or how the discussion is going. I think that when the average person sees me debating an issue, I think that in their own mind, they're looking at the Mexican-American community, not stopping to realize that we have in our community people that subscribe to all political beliefs, and to say that any one person can speak for the diversity within a group is wrong.
And when the local government doesn't function, somebody else has to.
I didn't start speaking English until the first grade of grade school. Up until then, and it was 100% Spanish. Even though we were learning English in school, we came home, there was nothing but Spanish. My children didn't experience that. My children, for instance, and the children of others that were not raised in the barrio, or rather the children that are not being raised in the barrios right now, I think that they are the first Mexican Americans, the first generation of Mexican Americans that will be able to compete, not only in the academic field, but for jobs, and be able to compete in the true sense of the word. And the only drawbacks that they will find or should find will be the attitudes of society towards the Mexican American. Sooner or later, I would like to be evaluated from the people's standpoint, just like any other councilman in this chamber. Obviously, there's one thing that I can't never forget, and that is the fact that I'm a Mexican American. I would never do that. As I'm able to